going on, world? It's happening. It's happening. Life is good. Life is good. Okay. Back with another one. What do I call this again? I forgot what I call it. Yeah, this is not the way to go. We're gonna turn around. Ha! I was just exploring. Yep, that is not the... Nope, everything is closed over there. It looks so nice though. Look at this. I hope that looks nice on camera. Cool. This is Levon, Dimensional Thought, logging in. And this is a discussion. It's exploring. Let's call it that. Exploring. Dimensional thought. The reason why I resonate is when you vibrate to something with dimensions, and something that could be dimensional is because it's like a puzzle. My mindset is like a puzzle. It's like there's different grids and mazes that are around, and I'm just like being a bird eye view, like a lion's eagle on top, just looking down like, okay, we might have to fix this, fix that. What else we gotta, okay, we gotta do it like this. You know what I'm saying? Fix it like that, yep, switch it up. Backflip. All kinds of things. I ain't tripped up though. But I'm good though. Stay balanced. That's one. Zen. I play too much. Okay, so exploring, right? In a sense of this life, there's so many different layers. What this is it's just literally me talking about what's within my mindset. I'm soon gonna be putting these in episodes, so that way it's like boom. But in the extent of it, that's the extension, you know. Oh, what a beautiful night. So, in the extent of exploration, we live this life, and there's so much layers to it. It's so crazy. To be honest, life is crazy. It's amazing though. It's amazing when you break down the layers, but when you look into it, it's really crazy. Like, it's actually crazy. And this is what I mean by it being crazy, you know. Consciousness. Layers. The minute you learn something, it's there, right? Step one, boom, you have it. The more you do something, the more it becomes easier, right? So that is a fundamental method that we all definitely know. So as you're being, oh my gosh, she's so cute. Oh, she's so cute. She's so cute. Hello. Ah. Hello. Oh, she's so cute. Oh my gosh, she's like the cutest thing. She's so, oh my god. Okay, I kind of went into a whole, this is what babies do to me, okay? Like if I see a baby, I'm like, ah. It almost brings out the inner child. Ah, that energy is amazing. Ooh, yes. We really learn the most from like kids. You know, you see an adult, you're just like, you see a kid, you're like, it's amazing, it's beautiful, it's incredible. Okay, oh yeah, switch it up. So, oh my gosh, she's so good. Okay, come back in, don't lose focus. It's funny. Okay, yeah, let's just chill here. So, layers, consciousness, awareness. Once you know something, you know it, you push on, you're doing what you're doing, right? So, it's the same thing with energy, okay? Energy, I'm the kind of being that's going to speak about energy until I'm gone, you know, because we tend to see it as it's a norm, and it's like, oh yeah, it's cool, but humanity, like humans, us, we haven't truly been able to structure the casualness of it, you know what I mean? Like, we feel like we know what we need to know about it, and that's cool, but there's so much more. There is so much more. It's complex, complicate. You know, there's a lot of technical aspects towards it that's very confusing, but the minute you tap into different layers of it, it just so happens. Because the thing is, we're not patient. You know, humanity, we're not patient enough to truly be able to take in something and stay with it. Like, the other thing that really has me thinking is, like, you ever think that, like, we could do the same thing over and over again and sometimes still not learn from it? Isn't that crazy? That's crazy to me. Biker's going through, nodding. How you doing? Yes. He did not back. He thought it was weird. He was just riding, like, crazy. I like bikes. I remember the first time I rode a bike, I just rode it. I was like, boom. They wanted to ride this bike for so long. I'm in Scotland. Let me do it. I was like 9 years old. I was like, yeah, do it. I'm losing track. Okay, where were we? The sense of pushing out layers. Oh yeah, boom, learning it, right? So learning it all within one. As you're learning it, it may not stick. That's why we need different examples of the same thing. Like, think about it. You could, like, how many love songs do we need to truly know what love is? How many peace songs, you know, the peaceful songs, do we need to know that, you know, we can be within peace? How many, you know, happy, like, just song that's about the world coming together do we need to truly, you know, come together? Like, it's almost like the new artist or the next artist that does it, it's like, oh my God, we should totally come together. Let's come together. But it's like, there's so much tracks, you know, so much songs, you know, and it's like, we could go back and listen to them and be like, oh yeah, we should totally connect. We should totally do that, right? But we always wait for the next one. Like, we get bored very easily. It's a fact. We get bored very easily. Like, somebody can just be great for a moment, and then that's it. It's like, yeah, it was good while it lasted, you know. Okay, what is my point? My point is, we are living in a cycle of loops. The loop is continuously, as soon as it hits 4 to 8 bars, beep, beep, beep. Like, we're not, beep, you know what I mean? Like, we're not expanding to the extent of it. I mean, we are, but I'm also going to be giving weird examples. I'm a dancer, a mover, creator, so it's going to be weird examples, all right? Yeah, so somebody laugh with me? Nobody laughs with me. No. Maybe the universe was like, ha! Oh, that was weird. If you guys didn't hear that, then that moment made no sense to you at all. I'll be confused too. Okay, cool. So, in the extent of it, we have to be able to know that the example's already there, you know. The example is already there. So in the extent of it, we don't continuously need the one thing. Oh yeah, that's it, loops. Sometimes I leave, then I go back to the center, so you're going to be having a lot of that, right? That's how I work. So the continuous loops, it's not until you break a loop. But this is the thing, you ever try telling somebody the truth and they're so within their sense of living that they can't really come out of it, and they either cut you off or they just move on, or it's just too much for their mind to kind of take in and compute, so they're kind of like, and it's just like they just want to move on. A lot of people refer to me as deep, like, Levon, you're so deep. Why are you so deep? To me, it just makes sense. Like, I'm just swimming on top of the surface. That's really what I'm doing. Y'all think I'm yeah, anyway, to me it just makes sense, but really it's really because I've made it my choice, and the like within the innate understanding and feeling of this is my calling. So I have to figure out what we need to figure out, because nobody's doing it. I mean, people are doing it. Like, I'm learning from a lot of people online, but a lot of people that are going to see this are going to be like, this is interesting, this is new, how long is he talking for, you know? Talking about life? What is he talking about? What this is it's a thought process. Everything that I'm saying are just thoughts. So within it being a thought and you listening to it, you're actually connecting with it, and you're creating your own form of thought within the thoughts that you're hearing and that you're receiving. And whilst you're creating your own thoughts, you're creating your own circumstances. What would you do? What does it mean to you? Etc., etc. Because the truth is, until you discover something and you pass it on, the next discovery will not be made, because what you have discovered hasn't been seen yet, or hasn't been continuously said. That's why I mentioned about layers. We need the same thing over and over again. I'm just another being, another messenger that's guiding you through this process, because in the extension of things, we need to be able to really compromise, but at the same time be within balance, you know. I'm getting weird looks because I'm talking on the phone. I would look at somebody as well if I'm walking and I just see somebody talking on the phone. I'll be like, is that the Fed, CIA, the cops? Who that? Who are you talking to? Aliens? Might be. You imagine? You imagine if right now I'm just talking to you guys, right? Whoever it is that's seen it this far, and an alien is also watching this, like somewhere, right? And they're just like, let's see what these humans have to say. What are they talking about? Oh, they're talking about consciousness. They talking about layers and stuff, awareness. Okay, all right. Now a lot of people tap into that, but this is interesting. Normally they're watching some, what do we watch? Reality TV, right? Reality, yeah. So we're watching reality TV, or we're watching, like, I don't know, something to just keep the mind, like whatever it is. I don't know, Big Brother. I don't know what people watch on. Just things that are on TV. You can tell I don't watch TV anymore. I used to. I don't anymore. So crazy, by the way, TVs. Anyway, yeah, this alien just with popcorn, you know what I mean? Flipping it, duck, dive, you know what I mean? Let it rip. It's just crazy. And he just like, oh, I like that. I'm weird, but it's only weird to the people that don't see their own weirdness. That's the thing. I can't wait for this world to just like, and we don't have to be so serious about things. I mean, I am very serious, but at the same time, I'm not very serious. I hope that comes across in this video, because people are dying. Like, that's the bottom line. Every day, you know, and we can do something. So yeah. So this is me doing my part. I don't know who this is gonna go to, but in the extent, I hope that it's also able to open your mind up on how behind and confused humanity is. Right now, you can think you know. This is the crazy thing. If I was to go back 5 years back, I'll look at myself and I'll be like, you have no idea what life is. You do not know what life is. You thought you knew. You have no idea what life is. And I'll be like, what you talking about, man? I'm breathing, ain't I? And yeah, you're breathing, but just because you're breathing doesn't mean you know exactly what's going on. There's a lot of things that happens that's just crazy. You know, it's mad. So in the extent of loops, know that your habits are you on autopilot. Okay, your habits is you on autopilot. Now, if you're humble enough to look at your habits, you're able to actually change it. And if your habit could be to always see one another, because we have to stop seeing each other as if we're separated. You know, I look at everybody like we're one big family tree. Like, yeah, there might be a bunch of different trees, but there's one ground, you know, like one solidness that you're stepping on top of. And it could be anywhere. So at the extent of it, we're all family. And a lot of people see this side as cliche. Like, they see this side as like, oh yeah, it totally is. Like, when I went back in history, I was like, so what am I meant to believe? This is how they got us. This, like, distracted on some other. This is how they got us. They got us. They got us looking at things without actually questioning it. Yo, like, you would do something without truly questioning what it means, like what it's for, like why. We don't ask why enough. Why don't we ask why enough, huh? Because we just trust. If you just trust the next person to be able to bring something to you regardless, and you're just like, yeah, cool, put this tracker on me, you know, put this tracker on my kid, you know, just so we can be able to GPS them anytime. That's cool with me. Some people are doing that right now. Don't do it. We're just really quick to go ahead and be like, it's cool, like, let's do it, let's make it happen, and not even ask why. You can go to the store and know that the food is not good for you. Let's talk about that. You could go to the store and know that the food is not good for you. Why are they even selling that? Like, why is that even a thing? Why? This is what I want you to do. I want you to be humble, to step back just a little bit, okay? Because right now you're advanced. You're like, pew. I want you to just step back, okay? Now, as you're stepping back, just think about this. Just think about this. There are food that is not good for you, but we call it a treat. Oh, I'll just treat myself. And yeah, I guess you can say it's a momentary justice, but it's not good for the long run. And a lot of people are poisoned. Who's allowing this? Why is this okay? I'm just going to be talking about it. Before I really get into the steps on how, when I break it down, etc., that's when things are going to happen and push on. But right now, I just want y'all to think about these things. Like, just think about it. the way things are set up is not right. It's not. I can't play along. You know what I mean? And for those, the ones that do know, right? The ones that do know are like, well, at least I know what's going on. Like, that's power. It's not. I guess you have your own power. You know, you're able to not be lost in the crowd because you understand certain pathways and you can't be fazed by it. Cool. And that's you. Now, what about others? Like, we have to share this message. Like, if I was to be on top of the world, right? And to be able to indicate humans, I would first want because you can't just like awaken somebody. You can't just be like, boom, these are the facts, boom, you are awakened, now you see what I see and what we all see and how we should be seeing things. And it's like, boom, this is how it is, you know? Like, it won't just awaken somebody. I know that wouldn't work for me. I'll just be interested because I've always been interested in these things. I promote living a superhero life. We're all superheroes, really. We really have these powers. Like, it's so crazy. We just minimize it. We minimize it. Like, anybody that draws, I'm like, wow. How did you put that on paper? How? You know what I mean? That goes in all art forms. But even like maths, you know, if you're incredible at maths, I'm like, wow, that is a superpower. But if you don't see it that way, then it's just like, I don't know, eating, but you're eating with a spoon. So you're using a spoon. But somebody's like, yo, that's a spoon. How amazing is it that you're able to eat with a spoon? Like, if you didn't have that spoon, you'd be using your hands, but you got the spoon. And you're just like, yeah, but it's a spoon anyway. So you're not really seeing, like, the greatness in the spoon. Because it's pretty great. Alright? Without it, you can't, like, you know what I mean? You're going to have to use your hands. I mean, I do that. African all day, bada. You know what I mean? All day, every day. So that's cool. But at the same time, you got a spoon. You know what I mean? You got to swerve in. Diving into it. Swerve. Cool. Trying to assign the birds to come in real quick. You know what I mean? We finna do the moonwalk. You ever seen a bird do the moonwalk? Missing out. You are missing out. Just picture it in your mind. Then you've seen it. So, in the extent of things, yeah, I would first have to tell humanity to first realize what's going on. Like, what's actually happening. What's actually happening? Like, what is happening? Don't just be like, I already understand life and I get it because I'm living my life. No, that's the trap right there. The trap is you're already thinking that you know. Like how I used to think. I thought that I knew what was going on. I did not. And right now I still don't know, but I know a lot. Best believe that. I know a lot, but I still don't know what's really like. How can you really know if you were never born when the plan was made? You know what I mean? You're just finding out. So be humble enough to push back, like go all the way back. We first have to know what's actually happening first. Like, what is going on? What is happening? You know what I mean? Like, what is happening? Because if all companies was trying to embrace us and push us forward, what will we do? We will have no choice but to be healthy. We will have no choice but to see the greatness within each other. We would have no choice but to elevate each other and just be within connection. That's what would happen. Right? Right. So, because there's an openness on you or anybody to even be able to make money, currency, energy off something negative is already a trap. It's already a trap. We can make magazines about women looking like this. And then you got the whole women race going, this should be the look. So now I am insecure if I don't look like that. That's crazy. The wind hitting my eye. I'm not getting emotional, okay? No. The wind is hitting my eye, okay? It is emotional too, I ain't gonna lie. But that's the truth. You are beautiful. You don't need no magazine or anybody to say this, to say that. You are born beautiful. I need you to know that. Because a lot of things, you know, we look at TV and we go, that is how we should look. And it's like, no, you, just being you is incredible. Don't try and be something that you see. Try and be something that you are. That's it. If because you see it, you want to be it, you're not really being who you are. There's a filter that's being added. Now, if you're inspired by it, there's nothing wrong with that. But don't let that filter out your water. Not juice. Not, I'm going to take a liquid and filter it with artificial ingredients. And know that all liquid is really water, but then it's juice. And you're diluting it, and it's no longer the H2O. It's no longer clear. You don't have to dilute your beauty. You don't. And we give our power away to what they feel like the world should look like, and it's all consciousness. It's all a consciousness game. That's the other thing that we got to understand. It's all consciousness. So what's happening around is consciousness. Words are so powerful. We look at icons for examples, people that don't even want to be icons or don't even want to be looked at as inspirations to the extent of it, you know, and they're just poisoning our generation continuously. You have to be like this. You have to do this. And it's what's trendy. It's killing us. I don't mean to be depressing out here, but it's not even, this isn't even meant to be like, oh, damn, oh, it's more like Super Saiyan. You know what I mean? Like, think about hearing something and being like, yo, this is what's going on. And then being like, I'm gonna do something about it. First, the change starts with me. That's what happens. First, the change starts with me. And after me, others. The change starts with you. It can't start with anybody else but you. So, be that change. Yeah, so the consciousness. This is an example of consciousness. Depending where you are born, there's a certain consciousness that everybody understands and knows. If you are not of that conscious group or understanding, then it's not that you're an outsider, but you're having to adapt. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I came to Scotland, my consciousness was not of here. You know, I had to understand that we speak English here. So, Lingala and French, I had to kind of like take a seat for a little bit so I can figure this consciousness out and be like, how can I communicate with everybody? Because I can't come in and be like, Nino, ça bien? Eh? Ah, Zambi penza. Azana biso. Can't be like that. They're going to be like, what is he talking about? What? Zambi? Azana biso? Azana? What's that? He's talking about? What? Everybody will be confused. Or if I come in, I'm like, hey guys, how we doing? How's life? You know, God is with us all day, every day. They'd be like, all right, okay. This guy's happy. So, at least they'll understand what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? And yes, that's what I would say all the time. So, I had to take a breather a little bit with the language that, or the consciousness that I knew, and dive into English and understand what English is. And as soon as I understood what English was, to the extent of it, boom, I was then able to adapt And then I became a part of this consciousness. Does that make sense? So that's just an understanding, an understanding, an overstanding. That is a sign of consciousness. You're making your own choice, but you're adapting. What else can you call it? Adaption, yes. But what is, like, you're flowing, yes. You're flowing, shifting, yes. You're freestyle. What is it when you're intuitive? You're improvisation, that's it, right? You're improvising. So, in the extent of it, while you're going through and tapping into it, you're having to tap into it. And that is okay, I'm not gonna lie. I'm trying to figure out, the po-po came along. What's going on? They got, all right, okay, they're just switching. You know what? I live life like a movie, so sometimes when I look at things, I'm like, what's about to go down? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, this looks like it's about to be a burglary or something. They're like switching clothes. I don't even know if that's a real police car. Is that? What is going on? Anyway, je suis bien. Man like me with the G-O-D, man like me with nature, do you know what I mean? Man like me got shot. Man like me got shields. I ain't going nowhere, we saying? Nothing. Okay, it's cool. They're doing their own thing. Alright. So, back into, what was I talking about? Improvisation. So, as you're tapping into it, that is a sense of consciousness. So we have to upgrade our consciousness. The consciousness that you're operating in. We're all like a computer system. It's real. If you're in Windows XP, you gotta go to Windows Vista. After Windows Vista, you gotta go to Windows 7. Then Windows 8. I didn't even see 9 like that. But Windows 10. You know, I don't even know if there's a next bar. A long time so catch up with Windows. But you know what I'm saying? Like even like MacBooks. Upgrades all the time. You have to upgrade your mind. You cannot operate in the same consciousness while the consciousness of what the inner groups are doing is growing and they're being ahead. So whatever it is that we do, we can't really have a proper reaction towards it because we feel like it's whatever. So you need to upgrade your consciousness. And once you upgrade your consciousness, and what I mean is learn everything, like learn